We are here, waiting on sister to get her dang game
Update.
and the right thing.
Oh no.
But yeah, I really like these ones better. Uh, Not only because they're the right prescription, but I think I like the lenses better even. Uh,
Yeah.
and it might be because I have nose pieces that they don't just sit like right
Yeah.
on top of my cheeks, and they don't press against my eyebrows.
You know what we need to work on your about section.
My about section.
Yeah, because like you have the schedule on here that's not really.
I mean, it's not even a schedule. It just says these are the times to possibly be around for a stream.
Yeah, I feel like we should work on it someday. And did they change the layout? Because now it's like all left to right. Before I thought it was like not.
Well, I
It's
took
like
out
just 4 little chunks.
like 3 cards that weren't even being used.
Oh.
Like I took out one card that said this is what my PC is, and it just said case by so and so, all internals, miscellaneous. Because I didn't really know what any of it was, because I didn't take the time to look at it. So I just like, get rid of that. I was like, we don't need that here. We don't need that kind of trash here. So I took that one out. And then I think I changed my about. I added a picture. Or I added 2 pictures. My only thing with adding a schedule is I can't guarantee a schedule.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I can't say, every other day I'm gonna stream from 8 to midnight, guaranteed fact.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, yeah, 8 o'clock's kind of cutting you short because you only get home at 7:30.
This is what I'm saying.
Just feel like I'm a nighttime streamer.
And then when I have early days, like tomorrow I have an early day, so I'll stream earlier.
I'm interested to see what this catered food we're gonna have is gonna be.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Is it tomorrow?
Yep.
I would almost put a $25 bill on it that Stephanie's making it.
I mean, isn't that something that she would have told you guys about beforehand? Like, okay, we're having this big meal that we're making on Thursday. This is what we're doing. Da 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 da.
She'd only tell
Like,
Grandma.
prepare you?
No, well, we wouldn't be making it. She'd be making it.
Oh. She's gonna make the entire thing for however many freaking people all on her own.
She does it. She did it for Rotary.
For what?
For Rotary.
Oh.
Literally, every cater event that we have, Stephanie does it by herself, and then Grandma sets up the dining room or the whatever place they're gonna serve it at. The CEO breakfast, CEO dinner, the board meeting meals, all that. Stephanie does all of it by herself. Never asks us to help her. And quite frankly, we couldn't help her anyways because all those things, all those dinners, all those things that they're doing or whatever, all happen at the same time when we're making or serving a meal. So we couldn't help her even if we wanted to.
Yeah.
You said that catering thing's tomorrow, right?
Yep.
So it's at like what, 12 to 1?
I think like normal.
Yeah. So
I mean, there's technically no like the start, like it's gonna be ready to be served like 12, I think, because that's when everyone starts to go to lunch. But
did they say where it's gonna, what area it's gonna be in?
Allenwood
Allenwood's 2.
Allenwood,
I think so. That's the
something like
one.
that.
That's the one that's down that little short hallway, isn't it?
I think so.
So I was trying to think like tomorrow. I was trying to remember what tomorrow is. Tomorrow night. I think or no, I'm there tomorrow day. I'm dishes tomorrow. So I don't cook anything tomorrow. But I'm pretty sure tomorrow.
Yeah, on the actual menu is chicken fried steak.
Right. But so I'm gonna assume that they're still gonna have that because the jail still has to eat and the patients still have to eat. But if there's a catered meal, nobody is gonna come into the dining room to eat what we're making.
No. Unless for some reason they're just like,
unless they want both.
They don't want it.
Well, a lot of people will get both. But you know what sucks? My lunch is at 10 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah, well, there should be an exception made so that you can go and have whatever it is that's being made special.
Well, I assume Stephanie will let us go back there and grab some, but we're not going to be able to sit down and eat it.
That's stupid.
James and Jobin have been on our ass about that.
When I saw him come in and look in there, and then walk out and like he said, "Hey, Ryan," and you're like, "Hey," and I was like, "Oh," and he left, and I looked over at Susie, and she like popped her head up and she looked out and to see that if he was leaving or gone, and then she got up and went back to the kitchen
because she knew she wasn't supposed to be in there.
Yeah. I don't know why she goes to sit down when she knows he's going to be coming around at that time.
Exactly. She's like, I just want to sit down for 5 minutes because of my feet. I'm like, it's not. No. That's the problem. That's the problem. Is everybody keeps going and sitting down and they don't sit for 5 minutes. They sit for 10 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour. And then they get up. And there's things that are not done, and things like that, and that's what James and Jobin are seeing. People getting up from 20, 30, 45-minute breaks that are not their lunch break, that are just random breaks people have taken.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I understand where they're coming from with this whole, like, you guys aren't supposed to be taking excess amounts of breaks or whatever, but you're gonna just start cutting people. I mean, you're gonna start cutting people's hours and then eventually cut their job if they keep going and sitting down. I mean,
yeah.
The other day, Jolene went and sat down like 4 or 5 times, and she's like, "I hope he comes back here and says something to me because I'll tell him how it is." And I'm like, Jolene, you're like 80-something years old. They'll just fire you.
Yeah.
Well, I got time to do a match before your game's over.
Yeah, you do. I don't know. It's just crazy.
Yeah, James and Jobin they're on it. James comes down there at least once a day and checks on us. Jobin, he's gotten to the point where I don't even think he comes down. He comes across that hallway and just looks down, and if he can see anybody in there, then he'll come in, and if he doesn't, then he'll leave. But if you, I don't know if you were in there, if you noticed, they'd all sat, Stephanie and all them sat over as close to the wall as they could outside of the window or outside of the window of the door.
Yeah.
So that way they couldn't be
Well,
seen.
the thing is, they do that, and it's gonna take just one time of James or Jobin looking over there and seeing them there and realizing, oh,
That's
they're
where they're
hiding.
sitting at.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I told Stephanie that the other day. I said don't hide in my spot, where I sit. I said because then when I'm sitting there, they're gonna think I'm hiding, uh, hiding from them seeing me, and I just sit there because that's just where I sit.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh well, there was a bunch of other people in here, so we just sat in your spot." And I was just like, "Good lord."
It's like, sure.
Yeah, you just sat in my spot, just you know. I mean, I guess it is whatever it is, but I mean, what it's gonna boil down to is sooner or later, Jobin or James or one or both of them will make the decision that there's too many people in the kitchen and they need to thin it out.
Yep.
What they're gonna do, they're not gonna say there's too many people in the kitchen. What they're gonna do is they're gonna have a meeting and they're gonna have the whole kitchen staff involved. And they're gonna come in and they're gonna say, this is what we're doing because there's not enough work in the kitchen for all the people that are currently working in it. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna cut back hours. They're gonna say, okay, well now because you're this position, you come in at this time. So this person is gonna have to cover all this extra stuff that you normally would have done.
You're super robot-y.
Any better now?
No.
I don't know if it's on my side or on your side.
I don't know. When my thing gets done downloading, I'll be able to tell.
But yeah, they're gonna pull a bunch of hours from people, and they're gonna be like, now that person has to cover all that stuff that this other person covered, and once they do that, that's just the way it's gonna be from then on. And you know, like,
yeah.
Stephanie already put in to get another cook. She was like, she put in a request to James to hire a new cook, in Alex's place. And huh?
I said, oh.
Yeah. Well, James denied it and told her, that he feels that there is enough cooks in the kitchen, and that he would suggest a dietary aid, instead.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the dietary aid position carries. So if somebody wants to get real shitty about it, they could be like, well, I'm only a dietary aid, I don't cook. So then she wouldn't be able to put them like on a cook schedule or on a grill schedule or on a dishwasher schedule or any of those other things. They would only be there for like dishes and salad bar or something, I guess. Maybe, I don't even know. Like, I think dietary aid actually specifies that you only work part-time too, even. Like,
See, that's like Amy and I are. I've told you this, where we are down there scanning stuff, doing things for medical records. And today she was really just complaining a lot about it. And she's like, I'm tired of doing this. I'm done doing this. I don't want to do it anymore. And she says things like that to the people who are like in the person that's in medical records, the person that's in charge,
oh,
and
did
they're
I
like,
just
oh,
get
ha
kicked out of
ha
my game?
ha. But they're like, oh, ha ha. Well, here's more stuff for you. And I'm like, see, I was like, I like, if they ask me to do something, I'll do it, but I don't go back there willingly and get anything. And then also, I go slow. Like, that's not my number one priority
Right.
because that's not technically my job.
It kicked me
And
out of my match.
oh no,
Like
like
it
that's
was
not.
start.
I don't get paid for that. That's literally above my pay grade.
Oh, is it?
And I'm doing
It's
stuff.
above your pay grade.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm actually thinking about asking Abby who did it what she got paid, because I'm curious to know if she, so that I can definitively say that's above my pay grade to do
Right.
that.
Right.
And I'm not getting paid for it. That's bullshit.
Right.
Um and I told Amy, I was like, "Well, see," she's like, "I've done like 3 stacks today." I was like, "See, that's your problem. I've been working on the same stack for like 2 or 3 days." And she laughed at me. I was like,
I'm not
"It's
even
not."
joking.
I was like, "It's not my job. Like, yeah, I'm doing it to help, but I'm not gonna do it
You're not
in
gonna
a
you're not gonna do it
uh
efficiently.
yeah. Well, no, I'm gonna do it efficiently. I'm just not gonna do it fast.
Well, what's what I mean by
Like the job
efficiently?
gets done.
What
Yeah, it's like the
that's
job gets done correctly. It's just not gonna be
right. Well,
fast.
that's what I mean by efficiently. Like they know that Amy will do 3 stacks in a day. They know that you'll do, you know, a stack in 3 days.
They don't even know how many I do in a day. They don't.
Oh,
They have no idea. They literally don't keep track
they don't even like pay attention to it.
because they hand us 1 stack and they probably get 2 more in its place.
Oh,
They have no idea.
yeah, that's crazy.
They don't have a clue.
That's that's absolute craziness. That's even a thing. Like
Yeah.
that would piss me off. Especially if I was in your job situation, not situation, in your job status where you actively take people, put information in, and work at a computer literally all day long. Like, if somebody was like, here, do more because you're not busy with people coming in right now, I'd be like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
try again, please?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can even see my screen even looks better with my glasses being good.
Yeah, we're supposed to have someone new got hired for that medical records position. She's doing Fridays right now and will be full time come January.
Oh yeah.
We'll see how long this one lasts.
Is that a job that people don't tend to stay in very long?
Nope, because it's literal bitch work.
So I guess my question is what is it? What is it that they're doing? Or that
It's let me tell you, it is so redundant. I find it like the system that we have is old, and I feel like they're doing twice the work for no reason at all. Like, I don't understand. Like, I really don't understand why it is the way it is. But for part of it is a large part of it is the lab results people have. So they go in, they do a urine test, they do a blood draw, whatever, for testing for whatever things, COVID test.
Okay.
And there's a piece of paper, has your name on it, your demographics, all your stuff on it, and then it says what was found within your whatever test.
Okay.
Your COVID test, your
whatever.
STI test, your, whatever it may be, urine test, analysis, whatever.
Right.
And it's these papers that, that originates in the lab. The lab tests it, they see it on their screen, and they're like, oh yeah, okay, there it is. And they literally, it's in the computer.
They print it.
And I'm pretty, it literally is in the computer. Ashley and Waverly, when I worked down there, I would put they get faxed to her, and I put those on her desk, and she's like, oh, I don't need those. I look on the computer. Okay. So I just started getting rid of them. Because they're on the computer in their electronic medical record.
Right.
And so it's there. So that way the nurses can see it, and they can be like, positive for COVID. The doctor sees it. Okay, call them, tell them they're positive. This is what, the routine is, and da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
And they do that. But that result still gets faxed down here to the clinic.
And then
they get sorted. They get sorted between all the doctors. They go out to the nurses and the doctors. The doctors will, even on the paper, make their notes and whatnot, give it to the nurse, and then the nurse writes her notes and says she's done, she's completed it.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to medical records, where they put them in stacks by the days, and then they literally scan it into a file on the computer under that specific, all these were collected on November 17th. So they get put in a file, in a scanning, specific scanning file for the 17th.
Uh-huh.
And then they go through, they keep the papers, but they go through on the computer, and the file names are, I don't know what they are, but they have to go into a program at first to divide the people out so they can have the separate files for each person. Rename those files the person's name so that they can find them easily.
Right, they can just type in the person's name and pull it up.
And then they still have that stack of papers, the original papers.
Uh-huh.
And then you go on to the side of the system that I use every day.
Uh-huh.
Open up the person's electronic medical record. They have an imaging file where you can see all their images of their insurance cards, driver's license, records from other places, labs from other places, and you either can take those papers and scan them into their file or upload them from the computer from that file. And then you can throw that paper away and delete that file off the computer. Was that exhausting?
That was.
Yeah. It is the most ludicrous, redundant, stupid thing I've ever heard in my life.
I feel like they could cut out everything that you just said to me by literally just having that system exactly the way you explained it on the computer, but without the paperwork.
Exactly.
And
that's the thing.
The doctor goes to the computer and types in John Doe. John Doe's page comes up. He writes in his notes. Then he signs it with his whatever signature on it. Boom, enter. It saves in the John Doe's file. It goes back and it goes where it's supposed to. Then the nurse pulls up John Doe. Boom. I see the doctor says that John Doe has a ginormous turd stuck in his butt. Blah, 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 blah. This is what we're going to do. Da-da-da.
Yeah.
That's just, everything could literally be computer-based on computers that the nurses wheel around.
And that literally exists. That's the type of system that Stormont Vale and Cotton O'Neill have. and that they use Epic. That's the system. I was like, oh my god, I hope they go to Epic. I hope they go to Epic. Because I sat there as a patient and watched them on the computer,
like doing
and
that.
doing what they're doing, and I'm like, that's like incredible. Like, that's, for me, I feel like that's so much more efficient. That's so much more like, logical how that works.
Yeah.
And
it sounds so much easier than, I mean, they can, I don't know. I feel like,
and
I feel like the
I
hospital
just sometimes wonder
about,
like, I wonder like, because we have our registration system that we use, and then we have Healthland.
I hate Healthland.
I don't know, like, when labs are done, they're like, you can go in and look and see when somebody's labs are done and uploaded. It's like, oh, they've got syphilis, or they've got whatever, they got this, they got whatever.
Right.
But I don't know if they stay there forever or if they eventually go away.
Right.
Out of that certain tab, or like you have to do a search for it, or how it works.
Right.
But if that's the case,
how
that's not intuitive at all, and that's why we have to do this long, exhausting process of scanning those pages in.
Lost the lead.
But it's just like,
I mean, I guess it's good that you have to like type them in or whatever.
Yeah, but I'm just like, it drives me nuts.
Well, and like,
and there's other things within our system that are also long and exhausting that I think's absolutely dumb as well. That I'm like, Sam said this, they're gonna do, last I heard, they're gonna do the same system as Newman's, which is, I can't even remember now. And I've never seen it, I've never used it, because I don't go to Newman's. I've gone to Newman's like twice for things.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it looks like at all. I'm only familiar with the Epic side of stuff and the my chart, and I find it incredibly intuitive, and it has everything. It tracks everything.
Yeah.
I
feel like, I mean, like, not being bad towards Sam or anything, but I feel like she's not gonna be in that position she's in for very long, because I think that they're trying to use her to do.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, is like, why is that? I don't think that specific position can be there for
just doing what she's doing.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
The first couple days, like, and you know, and don't get me wrong, I'm not like snooping or nothing, but like, I have to walk down that hallway. Like, depending on the day, I have to walk down that hallway. You know, let's see, if it like tomorrow, if it's a normal day, I will walk down that hallway to take breakfast trays, and then I'll walk down it again to pick up trays, and then I'll do it again at lunch. So technically, I'll go past her office 8 times.
Yeah.
And that first day or two that she was there, her door was open, and every single time I went by there, Jobin was in there talking to her about something else. And you could see in her face, like, she was just like, are you serious? Like, are you seriously telling me this? Like, this is something that's going to be a thing now? Like, you could see that she was already like, come on, you know? Like, you told me this was going to be this, and now it's going to be this, and now I have this to do on top of all these other things. So then like, the third day, I was walking by and her door was closed. You know?
Oh yeah, her door's always like, don't be surprised if her door's shut, because it was shut 95% of the time.
Yeah, because I figured she's always on the phone or whatever. Like, you know, she's like doing grants or calling people or whatever it is she's doing. But
Nope, she's in there writing stuff
oh,
or programming things.
just yeah.
Um,
But then, so her
yeah.
door was shut for like the whole, like one whole day basically. When I was walking by, and I just figured I was like, oh, she must have got tired of people walking by and talking to her, or maybe she got tired of people like stepping in. Because I've noticed nursing and everybody else, they still stand in the doorway. Oh, hi, so and so, peanut butter and jelly time. Let's pick our noses and talk bullshit. And Sam doesn't seem like that kind of
Yeah.
person. I don't feel like she's small talk type of person.
Yeah.
Uh, but then the next time her door was open, it was like everybody had congregated in her office. James, Jobin, uh, what's her face, disease person,
I was like, who? Stacy.
Stacy was in there, Joe was in there, everybody was in there, and you could see it, like she was sitting at one end of the table, and you could just see on her face that she was just like, why are all you people in here? And that she was just frustrated and overwhelmed and maybe even a little pissed off because I assume they were just piling more stuff on her to have to do. Like,
possibly.
I really feel like they gave her that position, and now they're just gonna use it as like, okay, now that you have this office and you have this space and everything, we're just gonna give you all the things that nobody else is gonna do. On top of,
and pretty much it's like, hey, you're not just over the clinic anymore. You're doing the entire facility.
Yeah.
And yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to push IT stuff off on her.
I wouldn't either. I don't even know if we have like a lead IT person now.
No, I don't know. It's David and Brady. Brady.
Because David does the computer stuff.
David.
David does just the computer stuff, and Brody does like the email stuff. Because David was the network back, like he was the one that actually did like the networking side of things.
I think he does more than what he's done multiple things.
Well, I'm sure he probably does multiple things, but David was like,
I would like for him to learn more and like do more and like be more. Because I literally, whenever he tells me, he's like, huh, I'm gonna have David talk to you because I'm not sure. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
I hate talking to David.
Well, yeah, that's because David talks down to everybody because everybody is dumber than he is.
He came down to help Amy with something, and I was calling on IT. I saw him walk in. I was like, oh my god, perfect timing. I was calling you. And he was like, oh, why? I was like, well, because I was scanning things and, to the red people's MPIs, and then all of a sudden it just stopped and it popped up with this error. And I showed him, he's like, okay, well, let me do hers first, and then I'll come over. And he did Amy, and then he came over and he stood behind me. And he's like, well, whenever you are done with whatever, I'll jump in there. I'm like, okay. And then for like 5, like I had a new patient. So it took like 5 or 10 minutes. He'd be back there go,
Was he in your cubicle?
Well, he was standing behind it.
Right.
He was like 2 feet away from me. And then like God. He would literally squat down. And then he'd stand up and squat like and just shifting. And then when I was like finished with that patient, but I was on the phone with Marky at Waverly, helping doing something, and he was like, so can I get in there yet? And I'm like, bitch, don't you see me on the phone?
Yeah.
Like, am I gonna just stand up and let you sit down while I'm on the phone?
Right.
Like, that's not close quarters, sir. Not happening. And
yeah,
I just like I kind of like side-eyed him and ignored him. And then when I was done, I was like, okay, there you go. And then when he got down and he was doing his stuff, he was still. And I'm just like, you're so freaking annoying. I don't care that people constantly tell me, hey, you're in a band. You can sing. And all these things. I don't care because your attitude every time I see you is piss poor.
Oh yeah, David's? Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, you just have a pissy attitude.
I'm surprised he didn't
like,
why didn't he just team view your computer from his computer?
Because he was already down there.
Oh.
And there's some things that you can't team view.
Is there?
Yep. There are some things that he actually has to log into his account to get on the computer and mess with.
Oh.
So, but I'm like, you don't joke around. Nothing.
Oh yeah, no, he's the most unfun person I think I've ever met, which blows my mind.
I'm always
because
like,
that nurse
what are you like?
That nurse tech that he is with, that he's dating, they sit there in the break room and giggle all the time.
Well, and I'm like, clearly you're completely different in your personal life, but honestly, if I was dating you and I saw the way you acted at work, I'd be like, dude, you're a dick. Like, you're not even, it's not even like an attractive, like, attitude. Like, sometimes people can have a pissy attitude and be like jerks and stuff, and it can kind of come off as like charming in a way.
Oh yeah, you're like,
but
oh, that's
not
cute.
him.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah, but not him.
Yeah, when it has to do with the computers, he is very, like, I don't know. He like, you're below him. When it comes to anything to do with the computers, he talks to everybody like they are below him. And I don't know if it's because that's how he is. I mean, maybe if I saw him out in public and I was like, "Hey, David," maybe he would act differently than just being like, "Hi," Like he said my name the other day, which freaked me out.
That one day that he was on my computer, did whatever he did, and then when I sat down and I looked at it, I stopped and I like literally snapped my head up at him. I was like, "You changed my resolution." And he's like, "What?" I was like, you changed the resolution." And he's like, "Oh, well, I can change it back if you want to." I was like, "Oh no, I'll do it if I want to. I might get used to it. We'll see." And like, I went on my computer and I changed things. Like I put on night mode, and I put on a color and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like when he was on my computer,
customize it so that way it's a little bit more you.
I'm surprised he didn't say anything or change it back.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude,
do you have your resolution set to where stuff's bigger or something?
I've never changed the resolution, so it was just that one time that he made it
to
where everything was. Yeah, he made it default. I was like shocked.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay.
Right. You're like, whoa, why did you touch my resolution? It's never been changed or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, there's no reason why it needed to be changed, but okay. It's the same thing, like, yeah, and he also has to go through and he moves, like, the like applications we use are on the screen. I don't move them. But he'll go in and he'll move them.
Throw them around.
Because for what he'll rearrange them. And then, like, the one I do get is like changing the size of the windows and stuff like that. But we're like, you're so picky.
Right.
And like, I don't call down there for help hardly ever. So I'm like, I don't feel like you should be annoyed with me. I don't call you for things.
I only call down there.
I get it. She calls down for stupid shit.
I've only ever called him when Stephanie had told me that you have to call David and have him do something so that way the thing does the thing or whatever. And I was like, is there any way that I can do it without getting a hold of David? And they were like, no. You have they're like no, you have to have David do it. Like he's the only person that can do it. Well, lo and behold, I found out that very same day, I was like like so remember how I couldn't log into the computer for like a week? Like with my badge, like it wouldn't let me back. It wouldn't let me. I could badge in, but it wouldn't let me log in. Like it wouldn't let me do anything. So for like a week, I couldn't log into the computer. So I just kept writing my time in and time out, my time in and time out dates in. Well. So, like, quite surprising to me, I didn't realize that Stephanie doesn't normally pay attention. She doesn't pay attention to that stuff. She doesn't look in the system to see if we're clocking in and clocking out until it's end of the week and time to like
payroll.
Like check payroll and everything.
Yeah.
So she's like, well, you're lucky that I checked this because you haven't logged in all week. You haven't clocked in all week. I said, yeah, I haven't been able to. It says my password's expired, and no matter what password I type into it that I've previously had or that is my current, it does not work. I said, it's never worked. I've never been able to type a password into this computer that has ever worked, even when it was set to be the password that would work. Yeah, I'm in one right now.
Okay.
We're about half done. And she's like, she goes, well, you're going to have to call David and have David fix it. And I said, okay. Well, Bridget comes up and she's like, you don't have to call David. I'll fix it for you. And I was like, will you now? I said, you're going to fix it for me. You're Mrs. Are you Miss IT now? Are you going to IT my fix or whatever? And she's like, so I badge into the computer or whatever. And she's like, yeah, you just got to go down here and do this and click this. And then type in it is, whatever you want. And then do this and then do this. And then bam, it's fixed. And I was like, oh, it's fixed? Okay. So I badge in. Didn't work. I log. She goes. Go all the way out, and rebadge in and do it over. So I log all the way out, get my badge, swipe it. Computer opens up my profile. Go to clock in, swipe my badge. Nothing happens. She's like,
yeah.
Well, I don't know what's wrong with it. I watched David do it with that stupid thing where he does it from his computer, and I watched every step he did, and I did that. And it won't, and it's not working. And and I was like, okay, well, whatever he did was different than what you just did. But then after she showed me where he changes the passwords, because that's all I needed to do. All I needed to do was put in a current password that I knew what it was, so I could sign in. So after she showed me that little drop down thing, and you can change the password for all your logins and everything. I went in there, changed the password for my clock in, swiped my badge, it put it on my badge or whatever, signed out, swiped my badge, my computer came on, profile came up, clicked to sign in, swiped my badge, and it worked just fine.
Yeah.
And she was like,
he's done that a couple times for me, but I never paid attention.
Yeah. She's like, how'd you fix it? And I said, all I had to do was know where the password had to go, and I put in the correct I put in a new password and fixed it. And she's like, oh, well, that's what I did. And I'm like, no, I don't know what you did. What I did fixed it. You just happened to show me the way to get to what I needed to get to,
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, since I know where that thing's at now, and that you can go down there and tell it to show you the password, and you can copy and paste it, or put in a new one and change it and everything, I haven't had to call David for anything, really.
Yeah.
And now that we have Paycom, I don't even use that computer.
I know.
I use Paycom from my phone. I pretty much do pretty much everything is through it now. The only thing that we even use that computer for is for HealthWave or Healthland or whatever it's called, and I only log into that. I only log into that as when we have a billion freaking patients like we have, and I'm trying to find out if anybody's went home.
Yeah.
Which, you know what gets me? I come in almost every day to 12 to 14 patients. By the time I leave at the end of the day, I've sent home 4, and sometimes 5.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't understand how these people are coming in at sometime through the night or the early morning or whenever, and they're getting better. They're getting better so quickly that they can go home, you know, by supper time. By the time I'm getting ready to serve supper.
Well, and it very well may not be that they're going to get transferred
What'd you say?
somewhere else. They might be getting transferred.
No, they tell us. We have to write on their paperwork what's going on.
Oh.
Like on
So
on
you
our
know if they're getting discharged at home.
Yep. Yeah, on our paperwork. On our paperwork that we give Denise, and I don't understand it. This makes no sense to me at all. On our paperwork that we give to Denise, if they don't eat, so say I have 7 patients, and 5 of them eat, and 2 of them don't. So I have to call those rooms and find out if there's people in them. So I call down there. If nobody answers the phone, I call nursing. You know. So then, you know, why isn't my thing working? So then I call nursing. So I'm like, hey, nursing, does room such and such have so and so still in it? And they'll say, oh no, they're gone. So it's like, okay, they're gone. Like they went home or they got transferred. Oh, they got transferred. Okay, so on their paper I have to write transferred, because if we don't put what's going on their paperwork for Denise, then she can't decide whether or not they need to close their meal plan or not. So like this week we've had 5 people die. So we've had 5 deceased. We've had a whole bunch of go homes, and we've had a whole bunch of transfers, and we've had, you know, a lot of stuff. Like go homes, she closes it and it gets billed to insurance. However, if it's a transfer, they close the meal plan, but they transfer like the records. So like this is what they've ate with us up to this point gets transferred to to wherever they're going. Like, if that makes sense.
Right. Okay.
Like because she's the dietitian, so she has all that information from us putting it on paper.
Yeah.
Which I feel like us putting on paper is like what you guys are doing down there. We could type it into a computer and be like, so and so ate this, that, this, that, this, that, and that, and it could be on the computer and it could just go to her and it would be easier.
So side note, I remember you told me something about Evan has been like kind of sick lately.
Yeah.
With something. Ashley brought Colt. She and Colt came to the doctor on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, oh yeah, he's got major green snot happening. And she was like, I don't know if it's COVID. I hope they don't get tested. I'm like, usually they don't if there's not like, you know, if he doesn't have any other symptoms, but you never know. And he did end up getting tested, and she told me that he also had a cough. And I'm like, okay, so there was more than just, you know, green snot.
Yeah,
but he doesn't have COVID.
He's not just oozing snot out of his nose. There's more.
Yeah, like he doesn't have COVID, but he just has like the rhinovirus, a cold.
Right.
And I was like, I just thought about it. I was like, oh, you said Evan was kind of sick too, so I bet that's going around the school.
Yeah, Evan had kind of
it's just
he had like a Yeah, he had like a bronchital type stuff going on. He was coughing real bad, hacking up stuff out of his lungs.
Yeah.
He's mostly out of it now. He had a temperature.
Yeah.
He had a temperature for about a day, maybe two. But yeah, he's mostly out of it now. But now, more of a sinusal thing has hit Mandy. Man, she's got his cough, and on top of that, she has the sinuses and everything.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Did you take him to the doctor or anything?
No.
Oh. Come on,
No,
Pete.
because his doctor is in Ottawa, and I don't have the gas money for that right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
He's pretty much over whatever he had, though.
Yeah. I don't know why you guys just don't bring him up to Burlington for things like that.
Well, I hadn't even suggested him going to the doctor. I just was like... well, what do you...
They could have got some antibiotics that would have helped.
Yeah, I was like, well, what do you think it is? And she was like, probably just a cold. I was like, okay, well, as long if you think it's coronavirus, then we need to you need to get him taken, because if he has that, then that means that I have to do a modified, whatever it's called.
Where'd you freaking go?
What are they even calling
managed isolation or something? Or...
Yeah, modified isolation. Which means I would still be at work, and I'd still be going into patients' rooms, which I don't even understand that. You might as well just give me the 10 days off while he's sick.
I'm rubber banding. Yeah. Well, because it's like, if you're symptom-free, then, there's no reason, I guess...
he had a really bad cough. I thought it was COVID.
Yeah.
Better them than us.
Yeah, I thought it was possibly COVID. I was like, it sounds like he's got a tinge of COVID because of the way his cough was. It was super deep in his lungs, and he was just really hacking and...
Yeah.
And I was just like, it's got to be something like that. And if that's what it is, I don't want to spread that across work. I don't want to have any problems. But then he didn't have the temperature. He didn't have any of the other symptoms. He didn't have a temperature. He didn't lose his taste. He didn't, have anything else going on. So I was just like...
Dang it, he got me.
I was just like, okay.
Yeah. Well, and like... It's like, it could also been RSV or something.
Yeah. I'm not even sure what that is. I can't remember. People have been getting that a lot too. RSV, that's what they keep talking about.
And I keep hearing, flu's gonna be really bad this year. In January and February or whatever.
You know what?
Great.
You know what I'm worried about?
That's all we need.
You know what I'm worried about more than anything else? The weather we're having right now. We're having 70 something degree weather with rainy weirdness, like heavy moisture stuff or whatever. Like, come on. Are we not gonna have a winter this year? If we don't have a winter this year, the bugs are gonna be horrendous.
Oh, he still got me. Oh, I think that it might be like last year, and we're gonna have like a horrible
like 1 month of winter,
like in January or February.
Yeah, it'll be this like negative 300 degrees for like a week and then go away.
Yeah.
Halfway to victory.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know that with the way this weather's happening right now, there's two things could happen. Is we could have a really, really bad winter.
Oh, God dang it. They got me. Yeah.
We could have a really, really bad winter. Whatnot. you know, a little bit later.
Yeah.
Or we could have no winter at all. Or we could just have like super, super deep-seated cold, which is just as bad.
Dang it, my aim is so bad.
Because we could have a super deep-seated bad cold from this.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, where was he at?
I guess squatted behind this wall actually doesn't actually cover me all the way.
Nah, it leaves your head open.
Okay.
But it does only leave your head open.
Ah! Dang it! The guy from behind.
I only have 4 kills. Oh my gosh.
I've got like 1.
You know what blows my mind?
We can doing play so bad.
We play normal Slayer, or like we play normal games or whatever, and we have like 10, 15, 20 kills. We play SWAT and we have like 4 kills.
I know. It's because things are like so like.
Well, this is so fast paced. It's like, this is literally, if somebody gets 3 shots on you with this gun, you pretty much are dead.
Dang it.
Nearing victory.
And I'm surprised they didn't give you the pistol as a backup. Normally you have a pistol as a backup.
My aim is so bad. My aim is just so bad.
Yeah. Well, and also everybody's playing this differently than what I used to. When I played this, it was just run and gun. It was run in, kill them, and keep on moving. Everybody that's playing
being
it,
a little more.
everybody that's playing it, yeah, they're like kneeled, they're sneaking. Everybody's trying to hide behind stuff. Like
5 minutes remaining.
You know, it's like, what? Since when do you do that?
Yeah. Alright, gotcha.
Somebody's burning something outside too.
I feel like I smell burning stuff in Burlington all the time, and someone told me it's probably their chimney.
Oh, probably. At least since it's gotten cold out, I feel that way. Yeah.
Spectacular.
Like since it's gotten cooler out, I feel like there's always like something burny smelling.
Yeah. Oh, your game's lagging bad.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't even have it up because I was talking to Jonathan.
Yeah, 5 kills.
I got pooped on.
Well, like I noticed, I'm like my aim is like it's like all over the place. It's horrible. Trying to aim on the head like that, so it's like all over.
What in the heck? Changed their profile pic like a dozen times. Yes, so today I was trying to find let's see what are my challenges for today. What am I trying to get here?
I haven't even looked at those.
I don't like this backdrop, this 00 backdrop.
Oh, I gotta get 2,000 points or score in big team battle matches.
Okay. We can work on it, I guess. I'm not trying to get this backdrop thing, so I've just been doing whatever I want to. I've just been playing whatever I want to play, but still trying to get experience to progress up the thing, you know.
Yeah.
So kill an enemy Spartan by sticking them with a plasma or a spike grenade. Earn player score in Fiesta PvP matches. Kill enemy Spartans with a pistol. Oh, fun. You said you needed a big team battle?
Yeah, I gotta get 2,000 score. Then my other one is kill enemy Spartan who are attacking friendly zone, and then kill enemy Spartans defending their zone. So that's the stronghold, or yeah, strongholds.
Yeah. But yeah, I was trying to find a live pad from my OBS, and I found one, and I downloaded it, and I was gonna use it, but then once I went to like to use it to like make it work, it's like go to this website, get this line of data, put it into the hard code of your OBS and its system file, and then launch it, and then you should be able to use this thing without any problems. And I was like, nope, never mind.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll just unable to join.
Unable to join. It's timed out.
The request timed
What?
out. So I was like, nope, not gonna use that. So I guess now I guess if I want to use one of those live pad tab things, I'll have to just get like order one or buy one or something that I can just plug in, like plug into my computer. Because like doing it through my phone, it's like, oh, you have to like plug in all this information from your OBS, which is what that web thing does, because it actually grabs it from the Wi-Fi. It tells, basically OBS tells the Wi-Fi that my phone can access whatever it is it's trying to access to run it. And I'm like, I'd rather just have something I can plug into my computer, and then when I hit a button on it, it does what it's supposed to.
Yep.
You know?
You know what? There's still 2 more days of this week.
The problem with the dedicated server.
What? What does that mean?
There's the dedicated server.
Something.
That means that there's something wrong with the actual servers. Huh?
Oh no. I was gonna say, try a big team battle.
That was big team battle.
Oh no. Maybe that one's down. I don't know.
I don't know either. I guess, do we just want to call it then, I guess, for tonight?
I guess.
I mean, I wanted this. I streamed for quite a while earlier, but since I got to get up early, I don't want to.
I think I'm gonna watch a couple things.